It don't mean a thing unless it's got that swing.
Got so many.
I can take some of these off. I'm out of breath from going downstairs. Hi, everybody.
Oh, we're reversed, I think.
Oh,
no,
am
we're
I
good.
doing? We're good?
We're good.
No, we're good. Hey, everybody.
Hey.
When's the last time we did this?
It has been a few weeks, and we are super happy to be here. We're in the process of moving, and we're going back to Alberta. We came here for family. We're going back for family, and so
I got to get you this thing.
So it's been fun because we've been able to
it
downsize
has,
a few more things.
You're being really nice.
It got you just going incredibly crazy with all of our
We're about
boxes.
to release a lot of videos because I've got to work ahead because we're moving. Let me just find our new video here. So your channel, just give me a second, guys.
And we're super happy to be here.
Yeah. Let me put the volume down. Oh, you've already got some... Okay, close. Skip. There you go.
Hey, well, I'm going to put my glasses on so I can see.
Yeah. So we're moving. Yes, we're moving back out west. We're moving back to Calgary because of family. Family needs us out there more than family needs us here. This has been an interesting experiment being in New Brunswick. Tougher than we thought and just lovelier in some other ways than we thought. The neighbors have been amazing. We've got just near us, we've got some really, really good neighbors. And
Darren, hi. A month of no Friday Night Live is like an eternity. I am sorry. It went by so fast. How long were you guys in New Brunswick? Under 2 years. Alex Knight. Hey, Alex.
Hey, Alex.
Hi, Michael. Well, I hope you're well. We are. Thank you. Regina. Hi, John and Shannon. Swede Savage. Hey, good to see you guys. Nice to see you
Nice to be
too.
back.
Yeah. Noah. Hi, John. How are you? I enjoyed Florida. I'm back in Toronto now.
Oh, cool.
Darren, the last Friday night was Jan 13th. Wow. Holy.
Was it? Oh,
Rick
wow.
May, greetings from Ohio. We no longer have another lost whackin'. Hit that like button, folks. Hey. Hey, Rick. Catherine, hello from Catherine in Washington. Excited to see Duran just got tickets.
Oh,
Nice.
cool.
Fraser J, hey guys, so pleased I saw your Instagram post as I was getting
I
worried.
wonder if I could take that. Look up for a second. I can't take that. I wonder if I can take that shininess.
All the best with the move. Gutted, you have to leave your amazing studio behind. Yes, and he's going to be welcoming a brand new basement.
Well, you know what they say in real estate when you're buying a place with an unfinished basement? What do they say? Unspoiled.
It's unspoiled. It's just...
Give me a break.
It's waiting for your personal touches.
Yeah. We're moving into a nice house. It's the nicest house we've ever lived in. And it's cool, but it has, yes, an unspoiled basement. So a lot of you have seen my wall. Can I show you? I think my wall's on here.
So that wall actually was taken down yesterday.
Let me see if I can find it.
It's in pieces.
Oh, there it is.
It's in pieces sitting in our basement now.
This wall here, I can't believe we've done this, but this wall, what number is it on? It doesn't have a number. We took this wall. It's in 2 pieces of sheetrock and 1/3, and we brought it with us from my mother's house. It's downstairs right now, wrapped in cellophane, so we're taking it back to Calgary with us. I never in a million years thought that would ever happen, but we're doing it. We're taking the wall to Calgary.
And you told him how many pieces it was like in
2.5, 2 1/4. Yeah.
And we thought it was going to be this really kind of thick gyp, but it was actually thin.
Yeah, most people call it gyp rock. You're right. So when we were building the house, I was 17 years old, and I asked my dad for extra thick gyp rock and insulation all along inside the walls, not only on the outside wall because of noise. And he said, "No way! What are you crazy? We're not going to do that." And I didn't know what was there, so we took it off yesterday. Man, was I tired after
Super
that.
thin, tons of insulation behind because it was your music room, as you said. So and your brother helped one of your friends.
And a little mold was starting to form on the insulation, so we have to spray down the wall to make sure that we're okay. We certainly don't want to bring that into our new house, but it's wrapped so well right now, we don't want to unwrap it. And we'll unwrap. So we're going to put it on a wall in the basement. So I'll be doing my reports in front of it. Not on this channel necessarily, because there's a lot of Canadian logos on there. So we'll do it on the Canadian channel mostly.
Let me just kind of go back here. Transparent Media Truth. Hey, nice to have you here. Regina, John, could you please try to get an interview with anyone from the Allman Brothers? Also, maybe Cindy Frey.
Oh, Cindy Fry. Yeah. I don't know if that's a possibility. I don't know. Don Henley's wife follows us on this channel and has actually donated to this channel. Just a modest amount, not trying to buy us or anything. But we've always been fair with the Eagles. And Don Henley's always been my favorite Eagle. Bar none, he always was. And we've talked to Bernie Ledden, as most people know. Randy Meisner, Jack Temchin, who was Glenn Fry's songwriting partner outside of Don Henley. Who else? Henry Diltz, the guy who did the album cover for Desperado in the first album. There's someone else I'm forgetting in there. Oh, I can't remember. Anyway.
Hello, Dennis. Hi, Dave Smith. Love Calgary, one of my favorite Canadian cities to visit.
We wanted to move to Edmonton. My idea was to move to Edmonton, but the in-laws just thought that's a big move for them. And they're not young. They're 78 and 80. And I just thought, I don't want to make them move from Calgary to Edmonton. What's the point?
All roads lead back to Alberta regardless.
It seems that way,
Fraser
yes.
J., are you taking the reel-to-reel with you, John, with all the old recordings and interviews?
Guess what?
In this whole process of moving, what did you do? Come on.
I digitized over 300 interviews in the last month.
Yes.
300 interviews, mostly Steve Burgess's interviews, who was one of my best friends for a lot of years. Anyone from Vancouver will know Steve. Anyone who read Maclean's magazine will know Steve. He wrote off and on for the magazine. He was $1 a word guy. He was the guy who trained me on radio the very first night. We were best friends for up until shortly after I met Shannon, and then you know how it is. I don't want to say the term something and bros. I don't like that term, but you go with your girl, and we kind of drifted apart. So, we've got a lot of his interviews. Tons of mine. I found things like from Michael Hedges, who's like one of the greatest acoustic guitars that ever lived, from the Windham Hill label when I was playing that stuff, to George Benson. I finally found George Benson. Found a good copy of Andrew Gold. Ravi Shankar's copy is still crap, the one that I found. And then Len Tucson interviewed people like Roger Daltrey, Neil Sedaka, the Bee Gees. Oh, I don't know how many people. We found all those. So there are ours now. So there's over 300 interviews. And I'm still probably 30 interviews behind on this channel, which I've been arduously working on to try to get it on. So starting tomorrow, at last, we're going to start catching up.
Transparent Media Truth at Save the Wall. Bella says, hi, John, Shannon, friends. Oh, Blaze Eisner, brother John and sister Shannon. Moving is not fun, but sometimes it's essential. You're good kids for being family-oriented.
Thank you.
Good to see you guys. You are the ultimate time travelers. God bless.
Thank you. Oh, by the way, who's the gentleman who is Frank? Who's the guy who bought the reel-to-reels?
I think it was. You would have.
I don't have it in. He came and bought 5 metal reels from me, because metal reels are collector's items for some people. Anyway, he bought them, and then I put 244 reels, which were a lot of metal reels, mostly Ampex, because back then all our interviews were on reels. And then a lot of the plastic 10.5 inch Ampex, lots of those, 10.5 inch plastic, a lot of 7 inch reels, a lot of 5-inch reels, but we erased them. So whoever bought these reels from me, the gentleman, doesn't have any interviews on there, because we own those, right? They're ours, and technically they're all mine now.
Catherine says, I'm so glad you're taking the wall. So cool.
Thank you.
Hope you have an easy move. I'm going to skip down here.
We're flying next Friday. We're actually flying out of town next Friday. We sold our house. The second person who saw our house bought it. Buying in the Calgary market's pretty hot, right?
It is right now. So it's really low inventory, so things are going a little bit.
If you wear black, you get into the Calgary market really fast.
Ma Zilla says, moving in the winter is icky. Hope all goes well. Yeah, I don't like moving in the winter.
We have movers that are going to load the truck for us.
Nice. We're packing it. They're loading it.
Yeah, both ways.
Calvin, good evening, John and Shannon. Hi, Baltic Wood. Hi, you guys. First time from Australia.
Hey.
Hi, welcome. John Adams, good evening from Connecticut. Hope you're all are well.
We are, thank you.
Darren says, John, then there's all your interviews or cassettes you told me as well.
Yes, Darren. Darren, you pay attention more
Yeah.
than you have an eye. And Darren, I appreciate you an awful lot. So if something goes wrong, and I've always been one of those guys, and Shannon knows this because we are the type of couple that if I'm like, what's the thing? What caught myself one day? Shannon came up to me and she said, "You might not care, but she's, I think you do. When you watch TV and sometimes when you drive, you go like this." I went, "No way." And she knew enough about me, and I'm getting to you, Darren, to know that I'd want to know that. And then she said, "I'm going to tell you every time. Is that okay? Because you want to get out of that habit because you don't want to go walking around like this." Like, what? That's like a freaking old man thing. Of course. Thank you. So I don't always want to hear it, but every time she tells me. So I've always been one of those guys that I've surrounded myself with, wife, people that challenge me, that want to, that if I'm doing something, if I make a mistake, and Darren, you are the guy that if I make a mistake, you're the first guy to say, "Hey, John, you want to fix that?" See, I look at Darren's tone and I understand Darren's trying to help. So Darren, I appreciate you, buddy, a lot. I really, really do, because Darren's got my back, and that's the kind of people I have in my life. And Darren, I don't say it enough. I appreciate you a lot. So thank you.
Mark says, is this an episode of Sprockets?
Oh, Sprocket, yeah. Yeah. I remember Saturday Night Live, Sprocket with Mike Myers, yeah.
Ruben says, I made the same face when playing drums.
People make funny faces when they play drum. You do that kind of stuff. But I didn't want to do that. I had when I was 29, I was dating a 19-year-old. Her name was Carrie Montgomery. She was we were judging a beauty pageant, and she was Miss Edmonton. And then I remember I dated her, and I went, "Oh, I'm dating this little beauty queen after my divorce. Isn't this great?" And she was quite mature for her age. We were in a restaurant one day, and she looked at me. She says, "You know, when you eat salad with your mouth open." I went, "Huh, what?" Huh? And that's when I first started realizing, I think at that age, it took me 29 years to realize I need people in my life that are honest with me. And when I met Shannon right off the bat, she was like telling me, she said, "How come your bedroom's so neat and the rest, and your old section in the basement is just a complete mess?" I go, "I don't know. No one's ever asked me that before. I got to keep her."
Bella says, really enjoyed the interview with Mark Howard.
My God, he's an amazing guy. I wish the interview would do better because he's such an interesting fellow, but that's just the way it happens with guys who were behind the scene. He was an engineer with Danielle Lanois, became a producer, and is still working, got cancer, was supposed to die. Remember I told you they weren't supposed to give him this, they were going to give him this treatment. Then they found out it wasn't covered. And the doctor kind of said, "Well, it's kind of in the fridge. And if I don't look, maybe we could, if you don't tell, I won't tell, because I'm going to have to throw it away." So they gave it to him, and it happened twice. I think it happened in the U.S., happened in Canada, and he got cured.
So Floyd the Barber, hey Floyd, happy Friday.
Hey.
So what happened with the wall of logos, John?
Oh, it's downstairs. You must have just come on.
Yes. Hi, welcome Floyd. We took it. It's downstairs in our basement.
Yeah,
now.
we brought it from Miramichi, New Brunswick. This is it here. Bling. Hold on. I can't.
Fraser J say, how's Danica and Chase dealing with the move? They're doing good. Danica's not big on transitions, but we're kind of easing her into it. She's happy to go see.
Yeah, we're leaving on Friday.
She's happy to go see Nana and Papa, so that seems to be a big thing for her, and she loves flying.
How far away are we in the new house?
What do you mean, how from them?
Yeah.
Maybe 10 minutes, if
Not even 10 minutes. No, I don't think so. And so technically we're closer than we were before, but we're closer as the crow flies, because you have to go on to, you have to kind of almost backtrack. But if you were a crow, you'd be a lot, you know what I mean? But we can't get there that way. We've got to go the long way out.
Sweet Savage says, John, is April Wine over now that Miles Goodwin is done?
No.
Still one of my favorite Canadian bands.
No, Brian Greenway's in. Mark Perrant from, is it 1 to 1? I forget the band. We just found an interview with him. It's so strange. When I was going through all these interviews for you guys, I found an interview with Steve Burgess. I think his name is Mark Perrant. and he was not even the lead singer of 8 Seconds, but he was in the band. I think it's 8 Seconds. So if I'm wrong, but anyway, we found an interview with him, and then I thought, isn't this the guy? Because Bernie Perrant's my favorite player in the NHL because I was a goalie all my whole life. And I went, wait a minute. So I remember Perrant. So I went in, I'm going, same guy. So he's the lead singer of April Wine now. Brian Greenway's still with them, who joined in ~77 for the First Glance album. And they're still touring. I just reached out to Jim Henman, who's the original bass player of April Wine. He's the only guy I keep in contact with on a regular basis. I said, Jim, so is Miles still going to tour with you? And he is going to tour his solo stuff with Jim Henman, and I think they have a third player. So I don't know how, they're not leaving the Atlantic provinces though, and they're not flying. So they're going to stay doing shows in Nova Scotia, possibly PEI. I don't even think they're going to go to the Rock in Newfoundland. And New Brunswick.
So if you get a second, please hit that like button.
Thank you.
That always is so helpful. Spacey, missed you guys the last few weeks. So glad to see you tonight. Thanks. Well, we just said, oh my gosh.
Shannon insisted tonight.
She said, we've got to get on because it's been just a whirlwind the last 3-4 weeks. And of course, we probably won't be on next week because we'll be actually on a plane.
Yes, we'll be on a plane. Shannon always says this thing. She's, well, I washed my hair today. We have to go on. I said, you look no different. You look no different. Your hair looks exactly the same. You're always beautiful every single day, but she's so sweet. She said, I washed my hair. We're going on tonight. I'm going, okay, sure. You look like you did yesterday. Don't get me wrong. Your hair looks beautiful when you wash your hair, but yeah.
Bob's Place. Good evening, John and Shannon. Yes, click that like button. Thanks, Bob. Appreciate that.
Thank you. And thanks, by the way, for some guy a couple of weeks ago said, you're not putting enough videos. I heard you're moving. Are you okay? And he donated some money. I went, you don't have to. We're okay. And he said, I just got worried about you guys. And I said, well, no,
that's so nice.
It was nice.
Thank
I said,
you.
listen, of course, when I don't work, I make a lot less money, but we were busy packing and stuff like that. So it was nice people's concern saying, is everything okay over there? I'm going, no, we're fine. We just have to, because I haven't done Rock History Today in History for over a month because it's takes so much research to do it. I think people forget. Can I just have a little bit of water? I think sometimes people forget, thank you, that when you're doing Today in History, no matter who you are, no one can really do it and mention a lot of dates through memory because it's almost impossible.
Tina says, greetings from West Virginia. Really enjoy your podcasts. Floyd says, John, have you ever tried to book Tommy James? He's got a million stories about the mob owning.
Yeah, owners in music.
Yeah.
I tried, especially after Henry Gross. Henry's a good friend of his, and Henry says that Tommy James' book is the best book. I should try again, but I can't do anything until at the end of March now. I'm just so overwhelmed with doing all these interviews.
Thank you, Sweet Savage, made a donation. Thank you so much. Appreciate that. It's very thoughtful.
Thank you.
Hike with Mike. Hey, Mike. Hey, folks. Fraser, guys, sorry for all the questions, but John,
it's okay.
Always ask as many questions if you want. But John, have you already mentally set up the new house for the YouTube channel, etc.?
Yes and no. It only has one. Usually a house, the newer house. What year is this house?
2013.
2013. Usually a house will jut out. Oh,
sorry. Thank you, Dirt Rod Devil. Thank you for your donation.
Thank you.
Appreciate that. Very thoughtful.
I appreciate that. Usually a house will jut out, like it'll come out, stick out in one area. So this would be as opposed, our last house, it was the dining room. This time it's the living room that comes out and you can see it in the basement. So there's only, unlike the last house, it only has one window in the basement, which is odd, I thought. So I'm going to do it from there. And then I'm going to put my wall so I can stand up. And it's a good thing I've lost about 10 pounds in the last few months that I'm John Beaudin. No, it's health reasons. I've just had to just really take care of myself because I'm living with a woman who still gets ID'd at the liquor store, and I thought I should look after myself. Hardy, it's true. She
Hi,
does.
Carrie. Nice to have you. Hi, John. Shannon. Good luck with the move. I know it's stressful. Hang in there. Thank you, Carrie.
Thank you. Appreciate that. Most of it's done, and someone came and bought 244 for $300. 244 reel-to-reels, empty. I left some of the music on there because I thought whoever buys them will probably enjoy the music. And I had to bake anyone who knows reel-to-reels, if you have a reel-to-reel and it's shiny on both sides, time will not kill it. For the most part, it will play reasonably, I mean, not exactly. It's amazing reel-to-reel holds up so well. Unless it's got a matte back, which started in, I think, I'm guessing, so I didn't do research, I think the late 60s, early 70s, or in the 70s. The matted black ones, you have to bake them for 24 hours, let them sit for 24 hours. I let them sit for 12, and then play them again so they don't...
That was like your life for a month.
That was my life for a month. I couldn't do anything else. I was paralyzed with it. I had to get it. I had to close, like you always do, I had to close the file. So there's over 300. I say 300 because that's the round number.
So we downsized coming here because we had one full basement of his stuff. And then we downsized coming here and then going back to Alberta.
How did you feel when you went into the basement in Calgary? Heavy.
It was just, there was so much stuff. I
had stuff that I'd kept. Now this time, Shannon brought all the boxes out and she says, okay, these got reel-to-reels, John. We've been holding on to these reel-to-reels forever. And I said, well, I'll keep the family reel-to-reels, obviously. We'll digitize those. There's only 10 of those.
Cassette tapes, VHS tapes from the 80s. So many, like...
Unless it's an interview.
But there was just a lot of stuff he was carrying on. So it's nice to kind of unload that a little bit. So, of course, when you go back, there's things you can kind of let go of, dressers, things that you can kind of...
And Shannon's so unjealous. She says, don't erase anything from ex-girlfriends or anything. Don't erase if you went on a trip with an ex-girlfriend. That's part of your life. You don't erase that.
Of course.
And I went, you're so cool. You're such a cool girl. I wasn't going to anyway, but she said, don't erase your past. It happened, right? So
Fraser says those Ampex, is that how you pronounce it?
Ampex?
Are worth quite a bit. I used to own a few.
The metal reels, some people are trying to sell, not the Ampex ones, but the Scotch ones, the BASF, the Akai's, if they say Akai on them, or Ampex not as much. Some people are trying to sell some of the Scotch ones for $100 a piece on eBay. I would never charge someone $100 for those. But the guy who bought everything for $300, he made his money back by just the metal reels that were in there. So, and I'm glad because he's a nice guy.
Floyd the Barber, have you ever crossed paths with Alice Cooper? I saw him live a couple years ago, and he still got it.
He's such a nice guy. I've got colleagues who interviewed him, and he's one of those guys that will ask you, say, how's it going? So where are you from? Right? Did you grow up there? And that kind of stuff. I'm going, man, he wants to talk to you before the interview and after the interview if he's got time. That's Alice Cooper.
Dirt Rod Devil. So you guys are Canadian, Neil Young fan? Uncle Neil saved my life.
Oh, my God. I just tried to get an interview because they're doing that autism. Stephen Stills and Neil Young are doing this autism fundraiser. I think it's next, I'm not sure when, I think it's next week. Or it might have happened might be happening this weekend. But anyway, neither one of them are doing interviews. And I was offered anybody else on the bill and we could find out. I don't know who else is on the bill. And I just thought, I can't interview anybody. Unless it's Elton John or Paul McCartney, I really can't interview anybody right now.
Bella says, I can't let go of my cassette. So many great mixes.
Yeah, I had, those Rubbermaid things that are, oh, sorry, honey, I'm this big. Anyway, I had one with cassettes and anything with an interview. So I've got still 50 real cassettes. I had to keep all the Rolling Stone interviews that I have because I really can't sell those. But yeah, anyway.
Dirt Rod said, I'd love for you to do a whole stream about Neil Young.
I have maybe 16, 17 people talking about Neil Young. Mark Howard being one of them, the latest one. Joni Mitchell's another one. I got like great quotes from Chris Bodie and Mark Howard. Talk about John Cody, who worked with her for a little while. So I've got a lot of people talking about Joni as well.
Oh. Elvora Way. Hi, John and Shannon.
Hi.
Hike with Mike. I have missed the Friday Night Rock History live streams.
Oh, thanks.
Hey, we're happy to be here.
Shannon insisted. She said, we can't do it anymore. I got to get a tissue.
Rick May, why do I keep watching you two and AC/DC's Back in Black keeps going through my head? That's funny. A hike with Mike. My voice teacher was a friend of Alice. He always said he was a nice guy. I have always heard good things about Alice.
He's a nice man. He's just a nice. He seems like a good human being. When I haven't had a lot of bad experiences in interviews, and now and then you ask, right? You ask who are the jerks that you've talked to, who are the nice people. Alice Cooper, Reba McEntire, Vince Gill. I'm touching on country a little bit. A lot of people said Bob Seger was really, really a good guy to talk to. Paul McCartney's always a delight. He's an interesting guy. People who ask you questions. Who was it that I just talked to? God, I did so many interviews before I had to stop to prepare for the move. I can't write. It'll come to me. I did like 6 interviews in a week, which is a lot for me because you have to do a lot of research. And none of them are up yet.
Bob Perry says going to see the Marshall Tucker Band next week. Front row center.
Cool. Someone asked me about my wall, why I didn't put the Marshall Tucker Band. I said, well, I didn't. Oh, someone gave us a super chat.
Thank you, Fraser J, for
Thank
the donation. Very thoughtful. Thank you so
you.
much. That's very kind. Bella says Alice did a nice tribute to Jeff Beck.
Oh, cool. Yeah. I've got a thing on Jeff Beck coming up probably in the next few days from I'll just say an ex-band member.
Richard says, how about Ant Phillips and Steve Hackett together?
What? To play together? Technically, well, Steve wasn't the direct guy who replaced Ant. I think there was a few guys in there too, 1 or 2 guys. I forget. I'd have to look at my Genesis history. I haven't in probably 3-4 years from that era, but they're good friends. Steve Hackett's a good friend of Peter Gabriel, by the way, because they both share either a birthday or a similar birthday. I think I forget. And I've interviewed both of them. I've interviewed Steve Hackett, I think, 7 times. Anthony Phillips twice.
Fraser J, hey guys, here's a tiny donation. Thank you. You guys are what YouTube is all about. God bless.
Thanks,
Fraser. That's so sweet. Rick May, John Beaudin, the new man in black. Keep whacking that like button.
People ask me, it's a strange thing. They go, what happened to the flashy shirts? I never wear shirts.
They're all packed.
Never. No, but I don't wear shirts. I just never wear shirts. But every time I would go to because I work out of my home, so I always wear long sleeve. You'll
Always
see people say, what they always say, why don't you change your shirt? I'm going, it's not the same shirt. I've got 4 of these. And I've got a whole bunch of...
Slightly different style, slightly different ribbing, but it all looks the same.
Look, we match so well. So, but I from probably 1979, I've been always buying flashy shirts, really nice, colorful shirts, but I would only wear them when I went out. And I wear them in front of my intros and extras for my videos, or else if I go out. But I never wear them in the house. And I've gotten into the habit of going, I should wear them when I'm doing a video to look nice. But the other thing is, I can't wear them when I have a green screen because the green screen is so busy, and I have a busy shirt. You cannot do that. You have to have a static color and then kookiness in the back or whatever.
Hi, Robert. Hello there. Thanks for joining us. Michael says, also when I look at you two, I keep hearing Los Bravos. Los Bravos. Sorry.
Back, yeah. Los Bravos.
Oh, back
is black in my head. We're back in black. And we are technically back in
Rick
black.
Storm, you talking about cassette tapes brings back to the days a whole lot of dead bootlegs. And by the way, hello guys, hope your move is going, or did go?
No, we're not there yet.
No, not yet.
Yeah. We're moving, the furniture is moving when?
Next Friday.
The furniture is moving on Friday?
Well, on Thursday, but it's actually leaving here on Friday. So.
Okay. And we're leaving on Friday. And we're living with their parents for a week, and then we'll have possession of our house the following week. Unfortunately, the people who sold us our house were going through a divorce. They had to sell the house quickly. I think we were the first people to bid on it. It's a really nice house. They took care of it.
But we're definitely fortunate being there. Hike with Mike. You guys have a mime fashion thing going on tonight.
Mime.
Okay. So I guarantee that next time we come on, after we're in Alberta, in a new place, we will not be wearing black.
I'll wear a nice shirt.
He might be wearing black. I will not.
If I would have thought of it, I would have got. Not that I want to make excuses. I'm fine with the black thing, but yeah, we do look like we match.
We do.
Where's the middle arms?
Shelley Charles. Hey, love you guys. Any chance you're moving to Calgary? Yes, we are. Shelley.
We're moving to Calgary.
Yeah, we're moving to Calgary, back to our old home stomping ground.
There's a gentleman and his wife that comes on sometimes. I'm not going to mention their name, but they come on our live stream. I haven't seen them yet tonight. And they just said, listen, I don't want to be forward or anything, but we've been watching you for like years. What, can we get together? We live in Calgary. I went, of course we can get together.
Thank you, Michael, for the super chat.
Oh, thank you, Michael. That's
very, very kind.
Very kind of you. Thank you very much.
Floyd says, guys, have you seen the documentary on Laurel Canyon?
Yes, I have seen. I saw it just before I talked to Richie Furay. I think I've talked to Richie 3 times. It's really nice when you interview someone, and by the 3rd time, you got a nice little bounce with them. They remember the interview, because I tend to have long interviews anyway. I always kind of insist on having a long interview. Our channel's big enough now that we can ask sometimes a little bit more, or I always chance to say, can I have the last interview of the day? And usually the publicists are going, why do you want the last interview? They're really tired. I'm going, yeah, I can handle it. I'll get them back. And almost always it works. And I have a little longer with them because it's up to them when the interview ends. That's why I want the last interview. So if I can get 45 minutes out of them, because right off the bat, I don't talk music. If I know it's the last interview of the day for them, you don't always see it from your end, but I will always start talking about all kinds of different things, anything that I know no one's asked them about, to sort of spark them and wake them up a little bit, because they're probably tired, and that's fair.
Hi, Irene. Good
Hi,
evening. When will you be moving? Next week. Sandy McKinnon, just tuned in. Okay, tell me, the wall. Is it going into the new place?
The wall is downstairs, wrapped
Sandy,
in...
it sure is.
What do you call that stuff
It's
it's
like
wrapped
cellophane.
in? But the cellophane move, the big stuff that has handles. So it broke. Hold on, let me just show you. It broke just where Backman Turner Overdrive is on the top. Actually, Boston's on top of that. You can't see it. And it broke on the other side, just a tiny bit. I'll be able to fix it. So the whole thing is now in my possession. My mother gave me a big hug and she said, John, I don't know how long I'm going to be living in this house. She's 87. So she said, I don't want another family to have that wall or to paint on top of it or to do whatever. They probably just, I don't think they could. And then my friend Stephen Kenny and Charles Beaudin, my brother, I have to say his name because he worked so hard. Stephen Kenny, they did most of the work. And there's a video, God, I can't believe it. I have a video of us taking the wall down. I have bits and pieces of it, and even it being in the back of my brother's Dodge Ram, and I'm driving behind him. We've got my mother's on the video. She's so sweet, eh? She's such she at one point in the video, I'm talking to her, and I said, Mom, you probably never knew what I was up to in this room, because I was a teenager, right? And she said, oh, we never really knew. And now we know what you were doing. You were doing the wall. And I'm going, that's probably not all I was doing, but okay. And I kept going, should I include that? Because my mother's so naive, right? Because she's old and sweet. But
Melody R. Hey, Melody. Greetings from Beachy, Saskatchewan.
Hey.
John S. John,
Hi,
have
Melody.
you heard what's going on with the band Journey?
Oh, yeah. I just, there's certain artists that we don't report on because I'm going to have to update this every day. There's going to be a new thing every day. I'm going to go on there. I'm adding to the drama by doing this. So I started reporting on it, and then I told myself I won't report on anything. Now they're saying, it goes back to the White House meeting with Trump. I'm not going to talk political, but I have to say this because that's what they're saying. And I'm going, we all know that. I reported on that when it happened. I'm not going to go on. Unless there's a big development, I'm not going to talk about. The reason I mentioned Stephen Kenny, who was a high school friend, he and Charles, my brother, did most of the wall. The reason I mentioned because he had a pocket black light and he kept shining it on the and you'll see it in the video. And we're gonna buy probably maybe four fairly big black lights so that when I do my reports, you'll see it all lit up. It still works. The black light paint still works.
Hello, Dwayne. Greetings
Hi, Dwayne.
from Edmonton, Alberta. Let's see here. Dirt Road Devil, did you ever cross paths with Richard Manuel and Rick Danko?
No, I've never really. I came close to interviewing Robbie Robertson from the band. That's the only members from the band that I came close to. I certainly interviewed people who knew them, but especially Robbie. But and Levon Helm a few times, but Levon has left us, and no, not with the band.
Ooh, DJ H, hello there. Hi, John and Shannon. You overshot and moving to Ontario again. Hope you have a smooth move to Calgary. Yeah, I don't think that there would ever be a point that we would move to Ontario just because we have
expensive.
And we have no family there as well, right?
Not anymore. But anyway, getting back to our Calgary thing, if anybody watches us if they want to get together, of course we would. There's always that thing, that wall that people, like another kind of wall that people think, oh, you're on YouTube. We're just two schmoes. I'm a schmo. I don't know about her. She still gets ID'd. So can't believe you still get. I mean, I can, but I'm going, oh my God, I better look after myself. People are going to think, oh, look, there's her dad. She's with her dad again. That's awesome.
Richard. Hey, Richard. Hi, folks. I think Simon Collins lives in Canada. Did you ever interview him?
I did, but he didn't want to go on camera. Wait a minute. Simon, who's the older Phil Collins? Who's the older Phil's son? Is it Simon or is Simon the younger one who was drumming with them? I forget. I didn't really pay much attention. I've interviewed his older son, the guy who's losing his hair like his dad. And then I was ready with video and I went, okay, we're ready to go. And he went, I didn't know this was a video interview. And back then, it was back and forth. It was video, it was Skype, it was phoners. So I interviewed the older son. I forget what his name is. It Simon? I forget what his name is. No disrespect.
Hike with Mike. There was a great documentary about the Rainbow Room in LA. I watched a few weeks ago. I can't remember who did it, but check it out. It was really interesting.
Yeah, I'd love to.
Rick May, good to have you two back. The whack end wasn't the same without you two. Keep hitting that like button, folks.
Thank you. It does make a difference if you like the video. It does.
Yeah. Yes. Floyd chimed in. Is the wall moving video posted to YouTube? I'd love to see how they do it.
Not yet. What do you think? Should I post it? I guess I should post one. Don't you think I should post one before we leave, as of taking the wall down, and then we'll post it. I mean, to get two videos out of it. Then I'll post another one when we get to Calgary and we put it up. I've got to fix it. There's some parts that wouldn't come out, but for the most part, it's pretty much completely intact. It didn't break in bad places. Charles, my brother, and Stephen Kenny, my high school friend, they did an amazing job helping me.
Hayes Anderson, hello, have a safe move, thank you. Jeff Brush, will be visiting Calgary and area in September from Ontario. Really looking forward to it.
Yeah, come. You know what? Look us up. Yeah, email us. It's just johnbeaudin@icloud.com. When you come, we'll have coffee.
South Jersey Matt, hey guys, good luck with the move. Are you familiar with fellow Canadian interviewer? I can't pronounce.
Oh, Nardwar?
Yeah, Nardwar.
Yeah, he's a little out there for me. He doot, and he waits for the artist to do it. He's a good interviewer. It's a little gimmicky for me, but he's famous. He's done incredibly well. I think he just had a shtick and he kept going with it with his little hat. Yeah, I'm familiar with him. I'll leave it at that.
Dwayne says you should get a photograph of the wall, have it enlarged and frame it.
Yes, it's true. Eventually, that's what I'm going to have to do. But now that we can have it in the basement, because my my teenage room is not big enough for me to go back and get the full thing. So now in our basement, I'll be able to go back and get a full picture of it. And after this house, I think we're going to probably destroy it. I don't want someone to own it. Someone might. What was it? Someone offered me $1,000 or $2,000 for it, or I forget. It's in my journal. I never paid much attention to it. I have bad memory for stuff like that. Who played it with Elton John in 1970? I can tell you, but sometimes.
You got to believe. Hello from Portland. Hey, Pulsar Lights. You guys are moving to
Pulsar.
Hawaii? Sick of the snow and cold?
Yeah, I don't know why we're going to Calgary. We've had a wonderful winter here in Moncton. Last year was crazy.
It's been so much. Okay, last year we had snow up to here.
Like, seriously.
But this has been such a mild winter so far.
We couldn't see anybody coming. We're on a corner. So if you look out our picture window here, this is our picture window. If you look out, you can see the expanse of the road. Like, it should go right through our house, but it turns before we get to our house. So if you looked, we couldn't see the road last year because it was so bright. So high. Bright. I'm looking at the light when I said that. I went bright.
Dwayne says, I do have many relatives in Calgary. I've been there many times. Great city.
Oh, cool.
I think I'm caught up right
You're
now.
caught up?
I am.
We're at 40 minutes and 58 seconds. We've done incredibly well.
Hey.
Karate chop the questions. Kung fu your questions. I don't know what that means. But every Friday night in the last 3 Friday nights, we've been like just licking the floor going,
Yawning, almost sleeping.
we're just so tired from this move. It just seems like
I said we can't go on and have ourselves yawning, okay?
I
can't
yawn
go on
all
and
the
have
time.
you yawning. Or
She always
myself.
tells me, John, you can't yawn when we're on.
We're going to
I
think
go,
you need a nap, right?
Yeah, I don't know.
Bella, Olympic aspirations, John.
I don't know what that means.
A hike with Mike. Suggestions for a future live stream. What concert you had a chance to go to but didn't and regret it?
My God.
Thanks.
Oh, my God.
Mike always comes up with great ones.
We didn't want to do a theme tonight because we just wanted to make the announcement.
But write that down.
Okay.
What concert you had a chance to go to?
I have to say it
but
all over
didn't
again.
and regret it.
I have to message Shannon, and then she'll tell me what. Oh God, what am I doing?
Pulsar Lights. Winnipeg is a mild winter, -15 instead of -30.
Really, Winnipeg? Like this year, you mean? So you're saying this year? I've been in Winnipeg in the winter. Okay. What concert you went to but regretted it? Regretted not going.
Yes.
That's it. I speak into my phone. I never type. She's always typing. I always speak into my phone. And then I look and I'm going, it's just gibberish. So I'm probably, as a broadcaster for 40 years, I must mumble because it looks like, what?
Transparent Media Truth says, always time for Scrabble, though. Oh, yeah, well, we always do Scrabble. I mean, Danica.
Yeah.
Oh, a 10.
Pays attention.
Yeah, we do our Scrabble.
Good, paying attention.
You gotta believe. Thin Lizzy fans, I love them.
Yeah, but I only had the Jailbreak. I had the live album and another one. What's the Fox one? What's the name of the Fox? The something Fox album.
Mike says, I love giving you guys these ideas, LOL. Thanks.
Yeah.
It's been
We got to start using them, though.
Yes.
We got to start using them. That's the thing. We could come on more often, but we'd have to come on earlier in the day because Shannon runs the boat here. And, Shannon used to do her, I'm going to show them the picture. Sorry.
Oh, gosh.
Yeah, I'm going to show them the picture. I'm going to have to. All
No,
photos.
it was just my coworker took the picture.
Albums. No, but they also used it in the brochure. They also used it in one of their brochures. There you go. There's Shanny.
At work.
There's Shanny.
Okay, Michael, here in Massachusetts, it's been 55.
That's when she used to sell new homes. She doesn't like me showing that picture.
55 plus degrees for at least 4 days. Talk about a mild winter. Wow, that is mild.
What is?
Mild winter in Massachusetts.
Oh,
55
well, Massachusetts is very close to us, yeah.
Pulsar Lights. I had tickets to Deep Purple in Bad Company, and they canceled the show.
No.
Richie Blackmore hurt his hand or something.
Well, that would have been way back when, yeah, if Richie was in it. Yeah, that people always ask me about the reunion. People always ask everyone about the reunion, but yeah, that as they say down south, that dog won't hunt. It's not going to happen.
It's been fun here tonight, hey?
I know,
Connecting again?
I feel whenever I do this, I always feel like we should do this more often.
Melody R. I had tickets to the
Melody.
Rolling Stones and missed it due to emergency surgery.
Well, we had Fleetwood Mac, and then they canceled as we were walking.
We
up.
were like,
Literally.
we were standing like.
Well,
not
we were
front-
walking up to the door, and they
No,
told
but
us.
we had great seats. Like we were in the front. Like we were in the.
I think it depends what day you ask us. I keep forgetting. I think 14, row 14, maybe no further back than that, and it was the classic lineup. It didn't happen.
Nope.
And Mick Fleetwood said that they're done now. Did you hear that?
No.
Yeah, he said they're done. Without Christine, they're done.
Oh, Fraser J also said, also John, greatest duets for a future live stream.
Oh,
That's another one.
that's I've got some great quotes from duets. We just found it's a great concert. A Hall & Oates concert from, I think, the Voices album. Was it called Voices? And it's unbelievable. Like, they start, and I'm going, what is this rockin'? I didn't even recognize it was Hall & Oates. And then they went into a song. I think it was Sarah Smile, and I went, oh, this is Hall & Oates. And I couldn't believe how good the concert was. So I have this, and I backed it up, but I can't do anything with it. It's a radio special with Hall & Oates. It's probably available on eBay. But and there's a few other concerts. Charity Brown, for anyone who's Canadian, she did a lot of Motown stuff. Amazing show from Lucifer's in Edmonton. I'm going to send it to her. I'm going to ask her if she wants a copy. She might have a copy.
So Rick says, future show ideas, favorite live album.
Yeah, we've done that one.
Troubadour Photography, Safe Travels.
Thank you. I appreciate that. We both do. You know, Shannon's always rubbing my back. See what she's doing? She's always rubbing my back. She'll come. And at night, when we get in bed, I'm rubbing her back. And she's always, I get in bed always before her. And then she comes in. She's wearing her little slip. And
Warms
she's
me up.
freezing. And she is always freezing. Every time. And
Well,
and
I warm up fast.
And I warm her up real fast. I like rubbing her like crazy. Let's warm her up. She got goosebumps on her legs, and it's just so cute. Every night's the same thing.
I could be hopping into bed with the parka on and snow pants.
I don't want. I'd like, but we just have our isms. You know, as a couple, we have our isms, and we'll be watching a movie, and I'll say to Shannon, we're going to watch this movie now. Like White Lotus season 2, I've given up. I said, she's too busy with the move. I said, listen, if it's really good, we'll watch it on we have Crave here in Canada. We'll watch it on Crave, and if it's free.
I don't know, but just sometimes you watch like a series and it comes out again for like season 2 and just can't seem to get into it.
Yeah.
I'm like, I don't know. It just, I guess.
But you haven't tried.
No.
But I've also told you it's, so far season 2 is kind of, but I'm sure it's going to pick up. I'm only on, I think, the second show. But I'll tell Shannon, says, okay, Shannon's the only lady I've ever known who takes off her makeup every night, no matter what. Through the years, I've only lived with 3 women. And, more than living with them, sometimes they stay over for a few nights. And sometimes they don't have their, things to take off their makeup, right? But Shannon, every night, she's got this regiment. She does it. And I said, okay, honey, we're going to start watching a movie. You want to get into your little thing? And she'll go, okay. And it's half an hour.
But then I have my flossing regimen, so that takes about another 20 minutes.
Look at those teeth.
So it's a long time.
Yeah.
But I also wear contacts, so I take out my contacts, which means I have to wash my face.
She takes and I didn't mean this. What I meant to say is, you're very disciplined, and you do this. So even Chase and I, when we know, don't bug her, let her do it. She'll do it in half an hour or less, and most of the time. And we always tell her. What do we always tell you when you go in there?
Take your time.
Take your time.
Well, the biggest thing, I think I take more time at night getting ready for bed than I do getting dressed and going out. So is that?
Yeah. Because we work out of our homes, we have showers at different times, right? It's never at the same time. And what do I always say when you're going to have a shower? Every time. Take your time. Don't be in a hurry. This is our schedule.
TGH says, as long as you don't warm each other with Dutch ovens. Oh. That was funny. Jeff says, I had tickets to Journey Total last year. It got canceled due to COVID, and the rescheduled date didn't work for the family, so I had to sell the tickets, unfortunately.
Oh, wow. I don't think I'll see Toto. I probably won't see Toto. They won't come anywhere near me again. And they came to Vancouver, and Steve Picaro gave me tickets. And so we got a chance to hang out with Steve, and I didn't hang out with Joseph. I did see him back there. He was talking to some other people. I hung around with Luke quite a bit. Shem quite a bit, and some of the crew, they were fun, but it was we met them after the show, but we talked to them. We were back there for an hour, so it was fun just hanging out with them, asking what's going on.
Mike says Mrs. Hike with Mike does the same regimen every night too. See,
Ah,
I'm not alone.
yeah. Well, people say, why, Shannon, you have such good skin? She always says, first of all. And people don't ask you anymore, which is great. People used to always ask her, do you get lip injections? She'd go, well, I'm in my early 30s. Why would I do that back then? She's not in her early 30s anymore. I'm not going to mention how old she is. But so people would ask her things like that. And then she would go, I should take it as a compliment if people think for whatever reason, that's the way it goes. I'm a chatty Cathy guy.
Well, it's easy. Don't smoke, don't drink. And I go out in the sun, but I wear a lot of sunscreen, and I'm not a sun worshiper. So
it's not time, is it? No, 5 more minutes.
5.
That's our daughter.
It's the Scrabble junkie over there. She loves to play Scrabble. So we just take turns playing together. Let's see here. Darren says, John, when you played a snippet of live April Wine in the background on Facebook while transferring the audio, April Wine, favorite Canadian band of all time, baby.
But that wasn't a. Oh yeah, but yeah. That was. I forget what song it was from Stand Back. Not for me, not for rock and roll. I think that's what it was. I forget. I play that, but it's on Facebook, so you don't get. It's on TikTok and Facebook. You don't get copyright.
Paul Sor says no sun in Canada, good for the skin. Well, there is sun here.
Oh, there's a lot of sun.
A lot of sun, and I just believe moderation.
Just as much as the United States.
Fraser J says, John, check out Rick Beato's last interview with Steve Lukather. It's amazing.
I heard about it, but I don't watch other people's interviews. That's just a thing. I've done that in radio as well. I don't want to be influenced by anybody else, and I don't, quite frankly, I don't have time. But Rick Beato is wonderful. He's the king of all this. He's a musician. I'm a quasi drummer. Since '78. Rick's the real deal. But I don't. Even the guy from Sea of Tranquility. I love him. I think he's good. Professor of Rock's pretty good. I barely watched any of his stuff, but he's good. And a few of the others, but I don't have time to watch them, and because that's what I do. So it's just not I can't waste an hour, and it is waste to me because I could be editing an hour. Anybody else watching them, it's not waste. But for me, I should be working on my own craft.
Just a better use.
I hope that came out right.
Just a better use of your time.
Yeah.
Not that watching it's a waste of time.
Yeah,
because
anybody who does this, I support you. It's hard. It's a lot of work to do this and to do it right, because you learn how to hone your craft in a way that you can't make a mistake. And for the life of me, I don't know how many times I've released a video where I spelled there, THIER. I don't know what's wrong. It's like a software. I know how to spell there. I don't know why I must when I do it late, because I do a lot of my final videos late at night and put them on YouTube for future release.
JD says greetings, and he also says never waste time when there's work to do.
But I hope you got that. I don't find it's like Rick is amazing at what he does. Great interviewer.
Hike with Mike, another idea for you guys. What would your song be played at your funeral? I think you said that before.
Yeah, that's on the list.
Yep.
Yeah. But that's a great question, because a lot of folks not you, but a lot of folks who watch this channel, you smell really good. Shannon always smells, I always say you smell like God. I always tell her that. I said that God had a smell, and I'm not a religious guy, but it would smell like Shannon. the what song at your funeral thing? Remember one night we got so many different answers from heavy metal, which is that's what you want. It's your day. It's your last day. Well, it's not even your last day. You're already gone by your funeral. Anything else in there?
No, we're pretty much caught up, and
we're at that time.
We're at that time because we're going to have this lovely daughter come over here and decide she wants to.
So we're going to get in bed tonight. And Shannon's going to be freezing. She's going to get in, and she's going to say, "Why did you say that on your broadcast?" And then she'll say, "Oh well." She always says, "Oh well." Oh well.
Well, that's what being live is all about, right? Just.
Yeah. Well, me more than you. Sometimes I'm the overshare of both of us. Shannon's a way more private person than I am.
I can be. Yeah.
And it's strange, that we have this thing where if there's a picture of Shannon on Facebook, it's never a selfie. She never takes selfies.
I don't like pictures. I'm just not that.
She says if anybody gets a little joy out of making a selfie picture on Facebook, good for them. That's not my thing. So if there's a picture of her on Facebook, it means I took it or Chase took it. And we don't always ask for permission because a lot of the time she'll go, please don't put a picture of me on Facebook. And I'm going, oh my God, if I looked like you, I'd be posting pictures every day. But that's her thing. So just so that I just thought I'd share that because Shannon's not a big picture. But there she is. There she is all
And
smile.
thanks, everyone. We had a great time tonight. And we won't be here next Friday, but
because we'll be in transit.
But the Friday after.
What time do we get into Calgary?
Ooh, I think about 5 o'clock.
We'll be dead. I might come on quickly and say, how's it going? How did you get there? Did you drive or did you flew? SCTV. Eugene Levy. But anyway, love you guys. Thank you. And thanks for the super chats. It's very kind of you.
Yes, very kind. Thank you.
So take good care of yourself.
Bye.
See you soon.